What is everybody? It is Codebreaker146 here yet again with another video, and today it's going to be my WrestleMania 31 match card predictions, March 29, 2015, in Santa Clara, California, in the Silicon Valley, San Francisco Bay Area, in Levi Stadium, is WrestleMania 31, and it's creeping around the corner daily, and I just figured I'd make a match card predictions. I'm sure I'll do a second part to this and a second version, but before I begin, leave your comments in the comment section below about my WrestleMania card, what you like about it, what you think is intriguing, etc., etc. What sounds similar to your card in your head? Leave your card down below, please, please, please. I really appreciate, love talking to you guys in the comment section below. And yeah, here we go. And now for the pre-show match, triple threat tag team match for the WWE Tag Team Championships. This is going to be the pre-show match, and because of course WWE doesn't care necessarily about their tag team division as much as their other titles that much, they're going to probably bury this match on the pre-show. But I would like to see this on the main card. But you know, just knowing WWE, this is exactly what will happen. So we got Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso facing off against Xavier Woods, who's going to be the valet/manager, and he's going to be valeting Kofi Kingston and Big E. And the Usos and New Day, or Kofi Kingston and Big E, will face Connor and Victor of the Ascension. And the Usos will be the WWE Tag Team Champions. And I can see them winning titles from Goldust and Stardust soon. And I can see the Ascension debuting kind of after the Royal Rumble, because I know that the next NXT special is going to be called NXT TakeOver Evolution. And Connor and Victor are going to probably face Hideo Itami and Finn Balor, or Prince Devitt and Kenta, and they're probably going to lose there and finish off their careers in NXT and move on to the main roster. And you know, New Day, Xavier Woods has been had a vignette that's aired on Raw, and you know, if you pay attention to the storylines over in the summer, Kofi and Big E were his first members. They could add a Mark Henry or a Titus O'Neil in there. But from what I see here, I think it's probably going to have Kofi and Big E going for the Tag Team Championships. And, yeah, but I see the Usos possibly retaining. More than likely, the Usos, maybe the Ascension, could walk out with the WWE Tag Team Championships to kind of set the tone for the night. And, you know, pretty much say there's going to be a new champion and anything can happen at WrestleMania. But that will remain to be seen if they even debut. And a 10-man Money in the Bank ladder match will start off the show. I'm sure they're going to build this up in the weeks prior to that. They're going to probably say, well, 10 years ago in 2005, when it'll be 2015, that WrestleMania 21 was the debut of this Money in the Bank ladder match. So we're going to have another one in celebration on a 10-man for 10 years. And that'll get an opportunity to get a lot of people on the card. Now, you're probably wondering, why is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal not on the card? And the simple answer is that if you watch the Raw at the WrestleMania, Swagger broke Cesare's Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal trophy. So that could be an indicator, foreshadowing and telling us basically that that was just a one-time deal, and that was fine. I like to see it one more time, but the problem with having the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is that you'll have the same guys in there every year. You'll have like a Sheamus in there all the time. You'll have a Kofi and Big E and Sin Cara, and Three-Man Band will always be in there, and the Rosebuds and Fandango. All of them will always be there. It's not going to change, so that's why I think they should always switch it up and have like every other year Money in the Bank, and then a Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and then a, you know, this or that. You know, they can always go in both different directions, but I think the 10-man Money in the Bank ladder match will definitely be good for 10 years later. And the participants in this Money in the Bank ladder match will be Dolph Ziggler, and these will be probably set up via qualifying matches on Raw and SmackDown, blah, 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 blah. Bad News Bear is supposed to return from injury in around December, January, so look out for him in the match. And I think Ziggler or Bear will be Intercontinental Champion at this time, so you can kind of tie in both their feuds. Cesaro, Sheamus, Damien Mizdow, Luke Harper, Miz, Ryback, Tyson Kidd, and Dean Ambrose. Ziggler and Barrett, you can kind of have their feud kind of intertwined. Tyson Kidd's been on a roll, and he's starting to get back exposure on the main roster, so I can see him there also in there for spots, as well as Ziggler. Cesaro in there because there's no other place for really Cesaro to be, and just because he's a great talent, he deserves to be in a big Money in the Bank ladder match. Sheamus just because he's Sheamus. Dean Ambrose because I really don't have a spot on Dean Ambrose for the card, like in a big money match, which I'd like to. Maybe in the second version I'll have a different kind of match for Dean Ambrose, but this is the one I prefer to see him in. Luke Harper, the Wyatts have each one of them has been set free, and each one is on their own. Obviously, Eric Rowan is the guinea pig in the armpit of the Wyatt family, so they're not going to necessarily treat him like Luke Harper and Bray Wyatt. So Luke Harper will probably be in this match, and Bray will be in another match. So yeah, Luke Harper's a great talent as well. Damien Mizdow, I think he'll be Damien Sandow, but he could be Mizdow. I think that Miz will probably disown Mizdow, and Sandow would turn face for a brief while, and Miz will be a heel, of course, and Ryback will be in there just for spots. And I can see Dean Ambrose winning this Money in the Bank ladder match. You can also go with Cesaro, even Barrett. Those would be the guys I'd probably go with. But Dean Ambrose is probably my number one guy to kind of get the crowd off going hot for a babyface victory. The Rookie versus the Legend. We got Chris Jericho, the Legend, coming back versus Adrian Neville. Adrian Neville is also going to be at NXT TakeOver Evolution in the next pay-per-view special on the network for $9.99. Adrian Neville is going to be facing Sami Zayn, and if Sami Zayn loses, he will quit NXT. So they're basically saying, is Sami Zayn going to be moving to the main roster, or is it going to be Neville? I think Neville's going to lose here, and Sami Zayn is going to have that rightful push with the NXT Championship, and NXT is going to debut to the main roster as a babyface. They're kind of working him as a heel to see how he favors, just as an experiment, I guess, to see how he will be as a heel and if he's hateable. But I think Adrian Neville is very likable, and I think Jericho would turn heel and kind of say, I'm the better man, blah, 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 and think that Adrian Neville was kind of stealing his spotlight, etc. And I think Adrian Neville and Jericho would be a great match on WrestleMania and get Adrian Neville off well to start off his career as kind of not necessarily that Jeff Hardy role, but somebody that does a lot of high-flying maneuvers and is very likable, and Adrian Neville. So yeah, Adrian Neville would pick up the win here. Brother versus brother. We got Goldust versus Stardust. Now, I can see this how Goldust and Stardust lose the tag titles to the Usos, and Stardust throws a temper tantrum and walks out on his brother Goldust. Or at the Royal Rumble, now they're saying there's going to be 40 men. If there's 40 men in there, then this match is happening. If there's not, I don't think it's happening, because I think Stardust will be eliminated earlier in the match. And then Cody Rhodes will come out later on, and Cody Rhodes will eliminate his brother Goldust, because they were on outs at the end, and you can have Cody Rhodes kind of be in there and eliminate his brother, and then Goldust will try to take down Stardust because he thinks that Cody Rhodes is Stardust, and we all know he is, but they're just kind of playing in kayfabe, and Stardust will get mad at Goldust, or Goldust will get mad at Stardust, and Stardust will be the face, and Goldust will be the heel, or it could be vice versa. But yeah, who knows? Anyway, Stardust would win here, and this would be Goldust's kind of last match. This didn't happen in WrestleMania 30, but we're going to see if we can give it a shot for WrestleMania 31, and I'd be super pumped for this match, and I think Stardust will win here. And now the Viper versus the Eater of Worlds, Randall Keith Orton versus Bray Wyatt. Now, Randy Orton has just turned face. He was attacked by the Authority on Raw. They skinned the Viper of, snake skin, I guess you could say, trying to make some sort of awesome analogy there, but obviously it didn't work out too well. But yeah, Randy Orton is going to be turning face, and it's been somewhat long related. I mean, Orton heel and Orton face are almost the exact same thing, to be honest. But yeah, Orton's RKO out of nowhere vines kind of spit up his face turn. But yeah, I can see Orton kind of feuding with the Authority for a little bit. That is, if the Authority is still alive after Survivor Series. I can see Orton feuding with Rollins a little bit, maybe kind of getting the mix with Triple H, maybe just a little tad. And then around the Elimination Chamber, I think Wyatt and Orton would be in there, and their paths would cross, and Orton can eliminate Bray Wyatt, then Wyatt costs him after he's trying to leave, and then would have Wyatt pretty much technically eliminate Orton inadvertently. To some degree, I guess you could say. I'm trying to think of a good way, but yeah, this would definitely be a fun match to see and give these two something to do at WrestleMania. I think their styles would blend well together, I believe. Bray Wyatt Smash Mouth style and Orton can be boring at sometimes. He can lose the crowd, but I think it'd be a good, quick match, kind of resembling Kane and Orton for Mania 28 to some degree. And this would be good to get Bray Wyatt back on the right track and give him a big WrestleMania victory versus a big-name superstar in Randy Orton. Last year, John Cena decided not to do the job against Bray, and now we're going to see if Orton does that as well, but probably Bray Wyatt would win this match here. A comeback. Daniel Bryan makes his comeback. Now, I'm not saying Daniel Bryan's going to come back, because I honestly don't think Bryan will make it at WrestleMania, but I hope and pray that he does, because Daniel Bryan simply is great. I love Daniel Bryan. I was marking out a lot. I was jumping higher than I ever thought I could jump before. I thought I was black for a couple of minutes, but yeah, I was very ecstatic when Daniel Bryan won the WWE World Championship, and then it got taken away from him because over injuries over time, kind of building up in his neck and stuff like that. Now he's off, and they're saying that he's going to have shoulder surgery soon, and I don't know, but I really don't think he's going to be back. But I really like to see him back, and I think just a little bit in me, 10% of me thinks that Bryan will be back, and 90% thinks no. But I really want to go with my gut here, and go with my heart, I guess you could say, and have Bryan come back. And Bryan comes back around the Royal Rumble time, or comes back in the Rumble, or something like that. And Rollins tosses Bryan out because he thinks he's a threat, because when Rollins cashes in, he doesn't want to face Daniel Bryan. Kind of like what they did with Miz and Cena in 2011. And he's going to be facing Seth Rollins, of course. And then he eliminates Daniel Bryan in the Rumble. Then, in the Elimination Chamber afterwards, Bryan won't be wrestling in there, but Bryan will probably face Kane at the Elimination Chamber to get revenge on Kane. And then I can see when Rollins tries to cash in on Lesnar after the Elimination Chamber's done, then I can see Bryan cost Rollins the briefcase, and Rollins loses the briefcase and loses the match at the same time. And that would set up this match here. And they can kind of factor in how they were both in Ring of Honor. They can both kind of factor in how the curb stop is a move that impacts the foot on the neck. Uses his foot driving down the neck, which is kind of play into Daniel Bryan's injury, and that psychology could be used when he does the buckle bomb, when he picks the guy up and like power bombs him into the corner, and then do the curb stop. I think Seth Rollins will win here and pick up a huge victory over Daniel Bryan and put another set back, and Daniel Bryan not winning would be a good thing, because you could build back up Bryan, his climb back to the top, and you could still get behind him, because I think he was kind of somewhat losing steam when he was the champion, somewhat. Now, that might not be popular, and I just stumble my words a little bit, but I think he was losing a little bit of steam there, and people were trying to jump off the bandwagon after the chase was over. But now the chases can begin again. Now that he lost to Rollins, you can kind of build him back up. The undefeated Russian versus the man who runs the place. John Cena versus Rusev. Forgot to add Lana in there, and normally I would never do that, because Lana is one sexy beast, I must say that. She is smoking hot, I have to say that. I'm not going to say I'm sorry, because I can pretty much agree with everybody here. Lana is stunning. She is very kind and easy on the eyes, if I must say. myself. And Rusev just won the United States Championship, nonetheless. And I think that they're probably going to try to change the United States Championship to the Russian Federation title, and kind of retire the United States Championship. I would love to God for them to retire the freaking United States Championship and get rid of the title for good. The reason why I say that is because the United States Championship means nothing, and it's good Rusev's got the title. He can desecrate it for a little bit and then finally retire that thing, and make it the Russian Federation Championship. And, John Cena can go after John Cena. I know in a tweet, Hulk Hogan said, "We need you, brother." And obviously, he has no idea that people on Twitter, and I know kids have Twitter, but most people on Twitter are smart marks, and Cena is not our hero, just to clarify that. So, he said, "We need you now," and Lana replied back, "We will crush John Cena, and we will go after the WWE World Heavyweight Championship." Holy crap, I'm slurring my words here. But yeah, I don't think he's going to go that far and win the titles, or win the title for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, but I definitely can see him taking down John Cena, or at least attempt to. Rusev would have to beat John Cena to keep this character alive and get some really good heat on this and finally come along. But I can see John Cena, after he wins, have Big Show come out, and even Mark Henry, if they want to go back to face with him, and Swagger too, and kind of celebrate with him. And I love to see a united front and have Mark Henry and Big Show and Swagger take out Cena. And they would turn Russian, baby. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'd love to see that after the match and have them celebrate. That never happened, however. But yeah, Rusev, he has to win here. But if I was betting my house, Cena would probably be the man I'd go with because he's John Cena. And ask Bray Wyatt how it went to face him at WrestleMania. Fight for control of the company. This is one of our first main events of the evening. The first of three, maybe four if you count that the last match. But yeah, these are the first out of the three main events. Fight for control of the company. We got Triple H, the Game, the Cerebral Assassin, the King of Kings, versus Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And Triple H will be accompanied by Stephanie McMahon and Corporate Kane. And Vince McMahon will be in The Rock's corner. And if you didn't see the YouTube video, check it out. I'll put a link in the description box below of Triple H and The Rock going down on a memory lane and definitely saying any time in a different WrestleMania, either one would win. Triple H said he would win, and The Rock said he would win any WrestleMania 10 years down the line, a year down the line. I wouldn't mind seeing this match, even though it should have happened 15 freaking years ago at WrestleMania 2000 and at WrestleMania 16. It should have happened then, but I wouldn't mind seeing it now because I know they're probably not going to get Austin to wrestle at WrestleMania against Triple H one more time, but I'd love to see that. But I can see The Rock because that's Vince McMahon's golden boy, and I can see Triple H. I can see the Authority losing at Survivor Series or winning at Survivor Series. I'm more likely swaying on them winning. However, if they lose, they can still kind of say, "Oh, we still own half of the company. I'm still the COO. That means I'm still in charge." And Vince McMahon says no, and they dispute about it over the next couple of weeks because you can see that they're kind of teasing that right now. I think they're going to go in this direction. As long as this match does not main event Wrestle Freaking Mania, then I am okay with it. This is it. The sixth match down the card. I have it on number 7 on the card. When the pre-show match, technically that's the first, so I guess it's the 8th match. So, as long as it's not the main event, I'm cool with it, because it'd be a good match to see. I think they put on a pretty awesome match, but again, not exactly what I want to see from these two, have them work against each other, but this is probably exactly what's going to happen. This is somewhat of a dream card, and it also is pretty much kind of realistic. I'm not being like Stone Cold versus CM Punk going on here. Not doing that, but yeah, this is probably what would happen. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I'm probably very sorry. I did not give you the result of who I thought was going to win. The Rock would win this, and this would end the Authority's reign of terror. Anyways, Divas Battle Royal for the Divas Championship. No thoughts here. You gotta have a Divas match on here, or it's gonna be some sexist riots outside of Levi's Stadium, probably. More than likely not, but yeah, just gonna get through here quickly. Divas Battle Royal for the Divas title. Charlotte is the winner here. Why not? And let's get rid of this trash. I love that animation so much. WWE World Heavyweight Championship match now. Brock Lesnar, along with his advocates, Paul Heyman, his manager, versus Roman Reigns, the winner of the 2015 Royal Rumble. It's taking place in Philadelphia, and shout out to my boy John and Nick of Anything Goes Show. They will be going, so look out for them in January. Just some thought to January and the Royal Rumble in Philadelphia at Wells Fargo Center. Anyway, Roman Reigns is obviously going to win the Royal Rumble. There's no dispute about that. There's no person else in the company that deserves it more than him. I might not be the biggest Roman Reigns fan, but he's definitely got the look and has definitely got that it factor, as they say in pro wrestling. But there's nobody else. I don't think Daniel Bryan will be even back in time for the Rumble. He could be, as I was throwing out that idea, but if not, that's the only guy even credible enough to get back. But I don't think Bryan will ever main event at WrestleMania again, and that's sad. But Roman Reigns, is going to carry the company into the next millennium, I guess you could say. And Roman Reigns is going to be the big guy now after Cena, because I think they're kind of passing the torch to Reigns now and getting him ready. And I think that this injury that he's had is a blessing in disguise, because I think fans are trying to get against him very quickly, and I be free to admit to say that I was one of those people. And I'm kind of getting pretty pumped up for the return of Roman Reigns at the Rumble, and I'll be excited when he wins. I know he's going to win, but it's still going to be a fun Royal Rumble match to watch nonetheless, because I just love Royal Rumbles. And we all knew Batista was going to win, but it was still let me rephrase it. It was a fun Rumble to watch until Batista won, if that makes sense. And we found out Daniel Bryan was not coming out in 2014. But yeah, this match will be pretty good. I can see a lot of awesome spots. And, after this, Lesnar is probably not going to sign his contract back, because after this, there's nothing else for him to necessarily do. And him ending the streak is a whole different subject, and it's just too late now. But they shouldn't have let him end the streak now, because this will be his last match in WWE probably ever, maybe, or for a while now, I must say. So yeah, this will be the end of Brock Lesnar's reign of horrible championship reigns and him never being there. He won't be back until the Slammies in Greenville, South Carolina, it's supposed to be. I'm not sure. But yeah, Roman Reigns would win here. And this would not go on last, because I have another main event. And no, after this transition, Stone Cold Steve Austin will not be in it. Double retirement match, Sting versus The Undertaker, because WWE.com does not have any Sting profile pictures, and because he's not officially signed a contract, which I think is a bunch of baloney. I think he has already, but they're just keeping it quiet. Sting versus The Undertaker. Now, some of me thinks The Undertaker will not wrestle this year at WrestleMania. And he's going to try to get back in shape for WrestleMania 32 in Texas, which will be his last match. But I think Sting's in tremendous shape. And I think this is a dream match that everybody is wanting to see. Now, you could throw in a Sting versus Bray Wyatt, but I honestly think that's not going to happen. I really want to see Sting versus Undertaker. Why not? Double retirement match. Sting's debut match is Sting's last match. I've never heard of that before in my life. A debut and a retirement match. There probably has been, I'm just being blind, but from what I can remember, there's never been a debut and a retirement match in all one. Like, you can't just debut and retire in the same match. That'd be awesome and unique. Taker's last match. Who would win? That would be an amazing question. I can see Sting coming after the Elimination Chamber, where they're thinking of calling it Fastlane, which I don't necessarily get. But yeah, that could just rule out all the Elimination Chamber possibilities that I even said previously in this video. But that remains to be seen. They're just probably just spreading rumors out there, but who knows? Sting, after the Chamber match, comes out just to have a, I guess, promotion to WWE 2K15 game around WrestleMania and talk about WrestleMania 31 anyway, and then have Undertaker's gong hit as he's about to leave the ring. The Stinger is shocked. They have an awesome silent stare down, and the Undertaker is back, baby. Sting has his back, points to the Mania sign. Oh my God, just magic. And right here, if this is the poster, oh my God, it's going to be fantastic. And this match rightfully should go on last. Nothing could follow this match whatsoever. Sting's last and first match, Undertaker's last match. You cannot beat this, and Taker's getting back in shape. Sting's in pretty good shape now. Sting would definitely not wrestle with a t-shirt. There's no way they'd have a main event and have him wrestle with a t-shirt on. It's just, man, it's I can just imagine it now, and the promos, just the silent stares and everything, the mind game, psychology going into this match, it'd just be fun. You don't have to say any words. You can just stare down for the 6 weeks of build-up for WrestleMania, and I would be excited for it. And honestly, if this match card happens at WrestleMania, this will be, and it all delivers, this will be the greatest WrestleMania in the history of WrestleManias. And who would win? It wouldn't make sense for Undertaker to go 22, and it wouldn't make sense for him to go 22, or 21-2, which I meant to say, and Sting, I'd rather see it 22-1, and at that point, Sting would lose, Undertaker would help him up, they'd hug it out at the end, and they'd have an awesome, celebration thing, and fireworks would go off, and then you'd have Undertaker's theme song play for the last time at WrestleMania. And man, I get chills kind of thinking about it right now. Wouldn't it just be a magical moment that would just sound out through the ages as one of the greatest main events in WrestleMania history? Storytelling would be off the chain. Near falls and kickouts, and just a fun match to see and close out WrestleMania 31 would be awesome. And yeah, guys. Thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it very, very much. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, of course. And, yeah, I'll have a second video on this another date. I'm about to record a Q&A coming up. So, yeah, you can't necessarily leave questions at this point, unless you're really fast while I'm uploading this video. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. And Codebrick146 is signing out, I guess. And, peace.